So I'm gonna make a collard green soup. I try to eat greens in some form every single day, whether it be like your traditional Southern style greens stewed in a pot with smoked proteins like ham hocks or smoked turkey tails, turkey wings, etc. But also raw collard green salads, collard green slaw, collard greens as with the cooked with brisket, collard greens as an ingredient in burrito, taco, like just crazy different things to try to do with collard greens. But today, I'm excited to tell you that I'm going to make a soup, and the soup is fire. I'm going to cook it with turnips, not turnip greens, but the actual vegetable turnips, and some andouille sausage, and use that Haitian epis to flavor the base broth in that, right? And mostly, I know I've seen a lot of collard green soups that are more, leafy. This is going to be a creamy collard green soup, so I'm actually going to puree it and use some cream, some heavy cream to make it more rich, creamy, and flavorful. So stay with me, and let's just get to it. Yeah, this is a simple dish. It's just some really fresh ingredients that we're going to just come together. I'm going to start by adding some of the liquid ingredients to make it easier for chopping. So I got some olive oil here. And lime juice, give it a little zing, a little freshness. The ingredients, I got garlic. Got about 6 cloves of garlic. I got some habanero or Scotch bonnet peppers, onions, celery, plus some bell peppers. Use whatever color you want. I have orange available, but red, yellow, green. I'm gonna add my green onions. My blender's getting a little crowded here, so I may just bring that down a little bit before I add some of the other ingredients. That should do it. All right, now that I made some more room, I'm gonna add some parsley. If you prefer like cilantro or a different kind of herb, you're welcome to it. But that's kind of how I roll. I'm gonna add some salt and pepper. And then my last ingredient is gonna be some fresh thyme. I'm just gonna slide the leaves in there. May get a few of the stems, not a big deal because we're gonna blend it all up pretty good. So I just got like 2 fresh sprigs. That's all I'm going with today. But if you want more thyme flavor, definitely feel free to add more. So I like mine a little bit on the chunky side, almost like a kind of a chunky salsa. The color of mine is yellow, but that's because of the garlic and the color of the bell pepper that I use. Depending on which color ingredients, it could be more red, it could be more green if you have more parsley and use green bell peppers. It could be more red if you use like a darker red bell pepper. So don't be concerned about the color as long as the flavor's there. And I'm just gonna give mine a little finger test. Yep, that's right, that's right, that's right. For the chilies, I took my seeds out and the veins out because I didn't want this to be like a really hot dish. Sometimes when you include like the seeds and the veins, that's where the heat comes from. And when you do that, it can overpower a dish. And so because this is a complement to the collard greens I'm gonna make, I really wanted to kind of leave out that heat. But again, it's all, depending on how you're gonna use it and your own taste preferences. My epis is done. So I'm gonna use some, and then I'm gonna store some. So I'm gonna put about a cup in storage. The rest I'm gonna use in a dish I got going on. That's really tasty. You see the color, a lot of flavor. Store that in the refrigerator for, this lasts a good week is what I typically use it for. But honestly, it's so good, you might go through it, faster than that. Sometimes I actually use it as a salsa with nice tortilla chips. Just depends. All right, we're gonna start by adding the andouille sausage. Yeah, you don't have to cook these a long time. You just want to cook them long enough to release some of the fat. So I'm going to take these out and leave all of that good juicy flavor behind to saute my onions. I'm going to saute some onions here. Oh, that smells really good. Smells good, and tastes good. I like to add some of my seasoning to my onions when they saute. The seasoning for these collard greens are salt, pepper, paprika, and nutmeg. If you guys follow me enough, you know that I like to blend my seasonings up, mix them up ahead of time. So I'm adding a little bit here and there as opposed to like kind of measuring out one ingredient at a time, all right? So I keep them in a little bowl and I just add as I go. That's the key to having like a well-seasoned dish, is to season at every step as you go. You'll get layers on layers on layers on layers on layers of flavor. And that's really starting to smell in my kitchen in a really good way. I love it. Onions are cooking pretty good. I'm gonna add some garlic. Get the smells all the way up. See a little browning in the pot there. That's gonna be good. Don't worry about that. We're gonna clean that up later. Next, I'm gonna add my turnips. I'm gonna get them a quick saute. They don't have to cook long, just quick, Release some of that flavor and mix it in with some of the garlic and the onions. Ooh, yes indeed. I feel a whoop coming on. Here's where it gets fun. I got some pre-bought, pre-packaged greens. They make them good now. They clean them up pretty good. If you feel like it, you might want to clean them a little more. Depending on your confidence and their ability to clean. I gave it a little bit of an inspection, so they're good to go. You want these cut on the thinner side, so go for the ones that are more like shredded green. If you can't find them shredded, then just make sure you shred them up yourself. The reason I say that is because the thinner they're cut, the faster they're cooked. Like if you got big leafy greens, they take a lot longer. There's nothing wrong with that, but if there's an opportunity to save some time, we definitely want to do that. I'm going to saute these a little bit, get a little flavor on them. If you're a little light on the oil at this point, you can definitely add a little more. So you saute those greens and get a little more flavor. I'm going to season these. Remember we talked about seasoning as we go? Add a little more seasoning. And just keep on mixing. So we're going to add the chicken stock and use that to help deglaze the bottom of the pan, to pick up all of that brown stuff that you saw. It don't smell great in here. So deglaze the pan, just scraping the bottom with the liquid. Makes it come up easy and just adds more flavor and character and texture to the dish. So make sure you use a wooden spoon to scrape it up. You don't want to scratch up your nice pan. So we got that. Since we added, why not add some more seasoning? Season as we go. That's how we do. Now mix that in. Now we're going to add some more flavor. I got the Eppies that we're gonna add. We talked about. Mix that in. Give it a good mix. This may be going too far, but you know, if you want to add like that smoky, additional smoked meat flavor to your greens to have that in your soup, I'm gonna add some smoked turkey butts. If you got turkey tails, if you have turkey wings, turkey necks, that works well too. We're just gonna add that in there. I did mention these are gonna be creamy, right? So we're gonna add some cream. About a cup. We're gonna raise the temperature a little bit after we get it a good stir. I'm gonna give one more pinch or two of seasoning. And I think we ought to be good right there. We're gonna just bring that to a boil. And once it gets boiling, we can reduce it down to a simmer. Again, if you're keeping score on the spices, it's really simple. Paprika, I like a smoky paprika, salt, pepper, and nutmeg. I'm just gonna pick some greens or turnips to the side for garnishing later. I'm just gonna blend these up.